So we are back with a brand new episode of Walkin and Talkin with Tim, and my guest today that I've been chasing to be a guest for probably a year now.
Almost.
Yeah, right? Is Lisa Morina. Now, Lisa is the Vice President of Advancement for the Cooper Foundation.
That's me.
That's you. So let's start by telling everybody, you tell them,
Yep.
what exactly it is that you do at Cooper.
Yeah, happy to. So the Cooper Foundation is the philanthropic arm for Cooper University Healthcare. And so my role there is to help put together people who are interested in supporting the hospital or hospital-based programs and help them to find a place to put their passion and to help bring more programs and
Or their
services.
money.
Well, or their money, yes. Their time or their treasures, or their money, yeah.
There's only a few things you can give is your time, your money.
Treasure, yeah, well, look, there's a lot of very, very generous people in
Yes.
this world, and healthcare is super personal.
That's
And so if they have a good experience or they're very grateful for something that has happened for their family, and they want to thank a doctor or, maybe donate so that research can happen at Cooper so that certain kinds of things like cancers or others, maybe we can find treatments or cures. And so we welcome that, and we want to help them to find ways that is meaningful to them as well.
There you
So
go.
yes.
So yes.
So yes.
Yes. And you have a gala coming up.
We do, September 22nd, Cooper Red Hot Gala. It's going to be at the Triad 1828 building in Camden. It's a fantastic location.
Never been there.
It's really cool. Overlooks the the Camden waterfront. There'll be fireworks and
Whoa.
new things this year, like a bourbon tasting and a champagne bar.
The bourbon
and-
tasting's up my alley.
Yeah, right. And something really cool, which is the Taste of Camden. There are some fabulous restaurants in Camden.
Right.
And we spent a little bit of time going around and meeting with these restaurateurs and tasting, and I think I put 10 pounds on in like 2 weeks because the food was great.
That's hard.
And so we're gonna have a little Taste of Camden section too to help people understand these restaurants exist.
Yeah, and that they're actually there.
Including, hey guys,
They're friendly, actually.
yeah, including a James Beard Award winner.
Is that right?
Corinne's Place, yeah, so it's really cool.
Do we know who it is yet?
It's Corinne's Place is the Beard Award winner.
Oh, I got
Yeah. She's got great soul food, so that'll be fun. So come out on that night. It's a Friday.
Will there be an awards given out that night?
There's not an awards, but we're honoring the legacy of Bernard and Shirley Brown, who originated in Vineland, and they built the National Freight Industries, which is a national company, and
big company.
international, huge company, and also Vineland Construction.
Oh.
And they have been that family has been incredibly generous to Cooper, and so we're going to thank them that evening and honor them as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into you.
Let's go.
Let's talk about you. So we talked
My
about.
favorite subject.
We talked about, yeah, right? Good for you. This has been fun. Honestly, we probably talked the longest out of anybody I've ever interviewed. But one of the things you said was, we talked about mom and dad.
Yep.
And we talked about your dad actually he worked as an electric, what was it?
Yeah, he was an electrician, electrical engineer type. He didn't have an engineering degree.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get
Yeah,
at.
he didn't have an engineering degree, but he learned his trade in the Navy and went on to do a lot of cool things and worked in the precursor for NASA at the Naval Air Development Center.
That's cool.
It's cool stuff.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah.
And you said mom stayed home.
Mom eventually stayed home.
And we're gonna come back to mom.
Yep.
You said you have 3 brothers.
I do.
2 older and 1 younger, right? You're the youngest of the 2 middle child.
A youngest and
Middle children.
yes.
Excuse me.
The only girl.
You're the only girl. So you said you also went to Glassboro State. Rowan.
So you had to bring up Glassboro State. That dates me. That ages me. But yes, I am a proud prof.
A proud prof.
Proud prof.
I used to go to Glassboro State when it was Glassboro State. I didn't attend college. I just went there.
We can talk about that
We
later.
live close by.
That's
so
right.
It was a fun place to hang out.
It sure was.
Back then. And then, you are also a mother. You have a son, Adam, which I know is a wonderful child.
He's awesome.
Great kid. And look, as we walked around and we talked about so many things.
We did.
We really did talk about a lot of stuff. One of the things that we talked about, to be kind of light and airy, is, you know, what do you like to do in your downtime? Like, where do you like to go? What's your favorite thing to do? And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so well, right now it's to go head to the shore on the weekend. So I am not a beach girl because I'm super fair, and my dermatologist would cry if she heard me say I'm on the beach. So I don't actually go to the beach, but I like the atmosphere down there. I like hanging out with friends. We have friends that are in all different towns along the Jersey Shore, and just the ability to get away in less than an hour or so.
You're not that far from me and Deb in Stone Harbor.
No,
so.
we're not that far. So I think you said you'd buy
Yeah,
dinner.
no problem. We'll go to the Reeds. It's all good.
Oh, with the Reeds?
Yeah, the Reeds
Ooh.
is. We got to watch the sunset.
Fancy.
You got to watch the sunset.
Fantastic.
It's the place to watch the sunset.
It is the place. So yeah. So in the summer months, we've been pretty focused on that. We used to have a pool, but now we don't.
No pool.
No pool.
I understand. So, but there was a lot of things we talked about. One of the most important things I thought that was kind of key was the other day you said you went to, I know you didn't say, I know you went to an event with Michelle Shirey and a whole crew of other ladies.
Yep.
And it was all about women.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all about, you know, women basically, you know, coming together. And not necessarily for any particular specific reason, but just, I think the way you explained it was really just women coming together just to support each other in general.
Yeah, and so it was awesome. And I don't know, maybe there was close to 100 women there. I didn't actually count, but there were women from all ages. There were young professionals, there were older, you know, there were older folks there, and everyone in between. And everybody there was a woman of influence.
Right.
You know, they have their circle of influence. They know people that are also in other circles of influence. And it really was just about, like, how can women come together, put our brains together, put our talents together, and keep us moving forward.
Benefit each other.
Benefit each other. So what are the things that, you know, if it's an entrepreneur, can I help her somehow grow her business?
Right.
Or, you know, if it's someone who is looking for a job, how can they help expand their network? And
Right.
so, you know, women are very generous, and
Or even mentor.
or mentor, and that's that's actually one of my favorite things, is to help young women and, you know, figure out how to navigate, because, you know, what the landscape looked like for me at 25, it's very different.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit. But also, there are some things that still exist in the workforce, and, you know, women need to find their voice. And that's really what this was about. Find your voice, find your passion, and, you know, find other people of like mind and come together to do cool things.
And so that's going to bring me to the story about your mom.
Yes.
So tell the story about your mom, because it's really, to me, it really centers that whole situation.
Yeah. So my mom worked at Mobil in Paulsboro. And, well, by the way, my mom's 90.
90 years old.
90 years old. And her body's not working so well, but her mind is still super sharp. And I told her I used this example because I wanted to make sure she knew I did. And she got so passionate. I was like, she's forming a march, and we're all just going to be like there's going to be a women's protest. But so she was working at Mobil Oil, and she had a really good job.
Yeah.
And she was an assistant to somebody who was very high up in the organization. And right after she got back from her honeymoon, he started to ask her to stand up and turn to the side. And the reason he asked her to stand up and turn to the side is he wanted to see if she was showing if she was pregnant.
That's ridiculous.
And by the time she couldn't hold my brother in anymore, and they realized, and she had to admit that she was indeed pregnant, they gave her a cardboard box and showed her to the door.
And the worst part is her trying to hide it.
Yeah, so that's not even good for the mother or the baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Like, it's just
terrible
so
thing.
unhealthy that she's probably, you know,
not eating or wearing a corset or something else,
something like
right?
that,
And so there's no family leave, there was no unemployment, there was left no party. Like, they literally escorted her out the door. It's crazy.
That story's so powerful because you couldn't even think about, you can't, people today almost can't even relate to that story.
No, now we give men time to go home and to stay home and bond and help their wives or their, you know, the mother of their child, and to bond with their child.
But to treat her like that, though, just
Right.
to ask her to stand up and turn sideways, it's like, do what?
And I told you why he said that she couldn't be pregnant in the workplace, because men couldn't see her pregnant.
Which is so crazy.
And on Sunday when I told her that, she said, "How do you think I got this way in the first place?"
It's ridiculous.
So-
What is your mom's name?
Joan,
Joan. God bless you, girlfriend, because it should never have happened.
it should never have happened.
Never, ever, ever, ever have happened
And
to
you know what
anyone.
happened to other women too. And so
Absolutely.
And so these are the things that as women we have to think about. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what do we want for future generations? And time, you know, time is fleeting.
Yeah.
You know, I keep saying that I only have so many more sunsets to see. It's
Yeah.
the truth. That's well, we all are. We're all on borrowed time. But
Yeah.
but we don't want to see our daughters or our nieces or our granddaughters or whomever
Go through this stuff.
go through this. And so I willingly go through hard times if it makes somebody else's life better.
Amen. That is one of the things that you did say to me that, was giving. You talked about giving $10 away and likeliness is $100 is going to come back. You're trying to manifest positive futures.
Yes.
For yourself and not even for yourself, for other people, and just and in return, hopefully, if you're lucky, some of that good luck comes back.
Yep.
You think that's one of your
It's one of my things. That's one of my mantras. And so, at this point in my career and having been here in Gloucester County and amongst business people for a long time,
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that'll reach out to me asking for
no one knows who
advice.
you are, Lisa.
Nobody knows who I am.
Nobody knows.
I don't even wear a name tag sometimes just to test the theory. I'm being fresh. I'll do that. But
It's all good.
No, like so. I'll get people that'll call me or email me to ask me for advice or for a referral or for a recommendation or if I know someone or I'm so happy to do that because it takes nothing from me or out of me to
No.
do that. If I can help, I'm going to help. If I can't, I'll tell them so too. I don't make false promises,
Right.
but that just makes the world go around,
Yeah.
right? So I do that all the time. I try to help people in any way that I can, and I'm going to tell you something. I just realized this. You will see me in this, by the way. I just bought the coolest denim jacket this weekend. I'm going to say it.
Thank God.
It's hand painted.
Uh-oh,
Right?
look
No,
out.
it's hand painted. It's got this amazing design on it.
It's very 80s.
It's very 80s, and I don't care.
Love the
And
80s.
guess what the saying?
My
on
favorite
it,
decade.
Guess what the saying on it is?
What is it?
Do no harm, take no shit.
There you go.
It's me in a nutshell.
There you go. I love that. You know what's funny? I used to tell my daughters every morning when they were kids, I used to say, it was Rodney Dangerfield used to say, be nice, but don't take shit from nobody.
That's right. That's right.
That is right.
Be nice.
Exactly
But don't be
right.
a doormat.
That's it. So here's some. Let's have some fun. Though you said that you went. I asked you what your favorite place of vacation was, and you said Acadia. And tell them why, because I think it's cool.
All right, so I absolutely love Acadia. I love Bar Harbor, Maine. This is the story I told Tim because it's the truth. There's a church in Bar Harbor. It's called St. Stephen's, and we walked by it a bunch of times, and I was just enthralled by the stained glass windows. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was drawn to it, and I wanted to see it. And you can't just like barge into a church. And then I realized that they have open hours because they're
a church.
They're a church from the 1600s, and they have great rich history. And I go into this church, and it's not like you walk in like, you go to some of these big cathedrals, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're taken in. It wasn't that kind of beauty, but it was beauty that struck me.
Yeah.
And I sat down on the bench, and I was so overwhelmed that I started to cry.
Wow.
And I just felt like my soul belonged there. And I got to figure it out. So
You know what? You're probably better off not figuring it out.
maybe I lived.
The mystery is probably better than what the actual reality may be.
But I love Acadia. I loved hiking there. I loved lobster, right off the boat. There's nothing better, and just a cool little town. So you got to go.
We're gonna have to try it out. Deb's gonna want to do that.
I told you I would retire there if I liked winter, but I don't.
Nice. So if people want to talk to you and get a hold of you, how do they do that?
So you can call me 856-371-5859.
Yeah.
Or you can email me. It's marina-lisa@cooperhealth.edu. And link in with me is probably your easiest.
Yep.
That's I'm very responsible in there, and I think it's a great way to connect with people that doesn't feel like what maybe Instagram might feel.
I know. Yeah.
It's like the real deal in there.
Yeah.
But that's where you can find me. If you go on the Cooper Foundation or you just search for my name, you'll find me there.
And there you go. Oh, thanks for being on. It only took.
I'll do it again.
It only took a year. But and for you guys, seriously, you guys, keep on watching, keep on listening, keep on moving.
Absolutely.
Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Mostly YouTube these days. And remember, all this stuff is brought to you by Telecorp Technologies, your technology experts. And we will see you next time on Walkin' and Talkin' with Tim.